then?
Does anyone have questions they'd like to ask of our young researchers here?
It would be about anything.
When do you think biofuels become a mainstream source of fuel in the United States?
I think, I can't give you a timeline, but given the number of people that are working on it, I hope it's fairly short term, less than a decade. But as soon as we break the back of this process of getting from biomass to sugar, this is relatively efficient, but it's not until we can take cheap waste products and not use corn. I mean, when we can use corn stover instead of corn kernels, we're there. Timeline, I don't know, could be weeks. I mean, there are institutes all over this country. JBay is only one of several funded under a single DOE program. Number of biotech companies doing this, a lot of research being poured into this. I mean, I think there's real potential. This is the real backbreaker. We're tinkering around to get better biofuels and more of them, but yeah, once this is done, I think we're in the clear.
So first, I just wanted to compliment all of you guys. I don't know if you know just how much you accomplished. I mean, I'm just truly amazed by the work that you guys have done.
Maybe we should do one more round of applause for a great job.
Like you can do it again next summer. Would you come back and do it again, or maybe something else? Starting from left to right.
Which left?
Yeah.
That left. Right here.
What was the question? Can you repeat?
How has it changed how you think about when you think about science now and research?
Well, before this, I didn't really know about all this about JBay, so it just opened my mind to maybe go to college and study this. But I'm not sure, and I also learned a lot of stuff from this summer.
Well, before this, I probably would have been playing football or something. But when I came to this program, it made me think about science, and it's pretty interesting. I kind of want to get into it. So yeah, it's inspired me a lot.
Yeah, actually, I was. If I wouldn't come to this program, I would be on vacation in Mexico. But I decided to stay, and it was. I'm glad that I stayed. I learned a lot, and my interest in science just grew a lot. And probably I might like to apply to a college where they offer good science classes. So yeah.
Before this program, I would probably be, if I didn't heard about this program, I'd probably be like a teacher assistant in name high or something like that. But I remember walking inside the laboratory and just getting a tour and hearing Clem talk, and I would be like, man, all those words that he's saying, I don't understand them. But then as time passed, he started speaking more like, oh, I understand him now, and I felt nice.
I'd say we all learned a great deal about science, and I think that really opened our minds all up to how the industry's doing and how a job experience is like. I would come back here next year if I could, regardless whether it's paid or not. What?
I wish you'd said that before.
Too late for that.
Talking for him.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed this program. The only bad thing about this was probably the BART ride. It was horrible. The transit times.
BART ride.
BART ride.
So, I really enjoyed this program, and Cyber always asked me would I do it again, and I said yes. But of course, science isn't my thing. I like nursing, so I would come back and just for the experience. But I think I'm moving on, and it was a good experience, especially Google, because that was Cyber's favorite thing. Every time we asked a question, he'd always say Google it or something. So yeah. All right.
I actually want to piggyback off the doctor's question, and so each of you, as students and as learners, what did you learn about yourself, given that you just come from a variety of different every school, and given this experience within this program, what have you learned about yourself as a student, as a learner, and what will you bring to your respective schools?
Okay. Well, when I first came here, I was the type of student who was independent. I don't like depending on other people. I like to get the work done by myself. But working with these students, I found that I can depend on other people and work well. So, yeah. Vernon.
Was it one thing I learned? What?
You could be one, it could be many.
Okay. One thing that I'm going to take from this is probably patience and leadership skills. Patience, where we failed at PCR 6 times. And we just had to keep at it and just figure out what's wrong. And leadership, where, well, not really, but cooperation, where everyone can work as a team player. And I think of each of these colleagues of mine as equals. We can all help each other, and by doing that, we can all do a lot better.
I learned a lot in this program, and as a person, I learned that when you learn something, you can help others too to understand it when they have trouble with it. And I saw that in Clem and James when we struggled a lot, whether it was molarity problems or the techniques that we had to learn in the lab, they always helped us. And I learned a lot, and that was a valuable lesson.
I learned a lot, and another thing that I kind of struggled with was talking to people in English clearly, because I struggle a lot in that, because at home, at school, everywhere I speak Spanish, and every time I came to work, I had to speak English with everybody. If not, people wouldn't understand me. So I practice a lot on my speeches, also on giving presentations. So I didn't just learn techniques in the lab, but I learned more to help me improve to be a better person.
Well, before the program, I'd probably, if a problem came up, I'd probably give up or something. I'd just, put it off or not ask for help. But now that I always ask for help and try to continue and work to try to complete the problem. Before I just probably would have just forget it and just fall asleep or something. But yeah, now it's pretty cool. I actually like problems now. I like to try to solve them. So.
I probably learned how to be more independent, because before this program, I had questions. I would just ask the teacher, and now Saber said go to Google. So if I have a question, I would just go do some research about it, and then if I don't understand it, I will ask a question. So I think that's what I meant.
And that's what I mean. Liz making fun of me like that. But there's a little bit more to that. Do some homework and then ask the question.
Great presentation. Question for you, though, is given the fact that we're in an election year, and given the fact that you've done all of this work over the past 8 weeks, how has your experience impacted how you think about energy and how we use it in this country?
Well, I know that we rely too much on fossil fuels, so we need to